Hey guys, Everyday Den here. I wanted to take 5 minutes and just share with you some user experiences from some knives I've been using recently. Purchased them a bunch of months ago, and when I have good luck with things, I kind of like to share that. This is a series of knives manufactured under the parent company of Zwilling, Henkel Zwilling. It's by Miyabi, made in conjunction with Masahara Morimoto. Probably 7 or 8 years ago, I think they came out with this line. It's a VG10 cord knife, 64 layers of a softer Damascus type steel, so 32 layers on each side. Has a Duracon handle, which is not NFS rated, so if you're working in a restaurant, it's not rated to be safe, but probably is. I'm not working in a restaurant, so it's not an issue. Sharpened to between 9 and 12 degrees, supposedly by hand. Being VG10 at Rockwell 60, it's a good compromise between sharpness and durability of an edge. If you go too much harder than that, it starts to get really brittle. It's more chippy. And you can go softer, of course, like the traditional Zwilling knives, which is about a 58. This is their Pro Series 8-inch chef's knife. Great knife, absolutely fantastic. As you can see from the handles of these two knives, Miyabi has really done what it's called a fusion. They've taken a Western and an Eastern style knife and put them together. The handles are much more Western style rather than a traditional Eastern style, which is just an oval handle. But not as blocky as the Zwilling Pro Series. What else can I tell you about it? It holds an edge really well, has so far anyway, has yet to be sharpened, and I've been using it for about 6 months. Actually, I've got several of the knives, and every knife does have a different use, of course. But really learn to fall in love with these knives. They're sharp as a razor out of the box. They hold an edge well. If you want a more traditional handle, Miyabi has this knife, or a VG10 knife, same Rockwell hardness, in there. I believe it's called a Kaizen series, and it has an oval handle, much like that, which is a more traditional style, or a round. That one actually may be more rounded than that. That's fairly oval. Some knives come with a D handle. I'm left-handed, so D-handled knives don't work for me very well. What else can I tell you? Cost. What does a good knife cost? If you look at the advertised prices, their small paring knives start at about $100, and in this series, the chef knife is around $170, $180, depending on where you look at it. What I can tell you is I think that's high for the quality of this knife, so buy and shop on your sales. I don't think I've got more than $100 into any of the Miyabi knives that are here. These knives right here at about $100 are a fantastic deal as far as I'm concerned. Next question might be, are they the quality of the higher series or the higher quality knives in the Miyabi line? No. The center core steel is different. Those are much more expensive knives, and it would be very difficult to compare this to a knife that's 2 to 3 times as expensive. It's going to be a better knife as far as the steel goes. The core is going to be better. You're going to have more layers of cladding, which is going to protect that core, also give it some flexibility, some stability. So I wouldn't try and compare this to a $300 knife, but it's a fantastic knife at $100. Another one in the series that I'll talk about later in a different video is the Rocking Santoku, and I'm soon, actually quickly, becoming a believer in that knife, and I absolutely love the fact that it rocks like crazy. And if you do rocking cuts, you're going to learn to love that. Where can you get them? Before I even tell you anything about that, I have no affiliations with anybody, but I've had two purchases through 2 good companies, or multiple purchases through 2 good companies. One being Knife Merchant, and the other one is Cutlery and More. Great people to deal with, fair pricing, and absolutely fantastic service. So my experience, maybe not yours, but mine has been absolutely awesome. As far as sharpening goes, at some point these will need to be sharpened. If you want to do it yourself, it would require a good stone. I would also recommend a ceramic honing rod because you need a rod that's at least as hard and preferably much harder than the coarse steel. So those are available. If you want to try it yourself, or if you want to see some videos of some sharpenings done, there's a young guy I've been watching for the last couple of years. I think his name is Ricky Tran, and he has at least one YouTube handle or channel called Burrfection. So feel free to give him a check. Seems to be a nice guy, nice young kid, but he knows what he's doing. So hopefully my review will give you some comfort if you decide to purchase this set of line, or this set or line of knives. If you have any questions, you're certainly more than welcome to drop me a line. I'll answer them as best I can. But if you want to spend $100 per knife and you want to wait for a sale, I don't think you're going to do much better than these. Anyway, talk to you soon. Thank you much.